Greetings and welcome to another video, and sorry for the long break, but nonetheless I'm back. And even though this feature had been implemented a couple of months ago already, I haven't seen it talked about on a broader stage and just found it out by reading through Reddit. So I wanted to share that with you. And what are we actually talking about? As you know, Final Fantasy XIV got a massive graphics update with Dawntrail and its follow-up patches. However, as we already figured out in the first weeks, the DLSS feature, which should help players to improve the game's performance while maintaining nearly the same visual fidelity, it simply doesn't work, or at least not as it should work. Which means when DLSS is enabled and actually injected into the game simply reduces the rendered resolution at which the game is rendered at, which is especially visible when you turn your camera quickly and move around with it, and this is so bad that the game becomes a blurry mess. The solution to this were many tools that work with injection methods to make DLSS function properly. And unfortunately, as much as I tested with the new Nvidia app, you still have to stick to that workaround, which you can find in the description, even though the option is already being shown inside the Nvidia app. But sadly, it doesn't have an effect and will not apply those DLSS models you choose from to the game engine. Anyways, the real deal here is that Anti-Aliasing in this game looked very bad for basically its entire lifespan until Dawntrail improved it for Nvidia cards. And they did so by using a couple of different aliasing versions. The best one, however, is DLAA, Deep Learning Anti-Aliasing, which comes alongside with DLSS. And the good news and reason for this video, you now can enable that through the native Nvidia software, which enhances the visual quality of the game significantly, or at least in its details. It basically takes the normal DLSS anti-aliasing to the next level, and jarring edges and frames are reduced close to zero. Unfortunately, this doesn't work for AMD graphics cards or Intel and might not work on PS5 or Xbox either, as they use AMD graphics too and you can't really customize anything on those consoles. But for anyone playing the game with an Nvidia graphics card, I highly recommend using this feature. You just have to close your game and then it's basically a 1-minute setting and you're good to go. The best thing, of course, as GPU driver softwares are allowed by Final Fantasy XIV's TOS, you don't have to worry about Yoshida having a bad day and of course compatibility. You have to note though that this is far from a filter on or off difference, just a super detailed improvement to sharp textures, shadows and objects with harsh transitions to their 3D environment. The best way to see what I'm actually talking about is if we change DLSS to FSR, which uses a different aliasing technique that is far worse. As you can see here, the ornaments on the gauntlet are way less smooth, and at those parts where sharp textures align, the overall image looks much cleaner with the DLSS setting enabled. I guess it's one of those features you just enable and then forget about it, as it will be the best anti-aliasing the game has to offer right now, and one of the main reasons I had to put my bets onto Team Green this time around, especially when comparing the game's appearance to the one with FSR, which you're going to face on an AMD GPU to the DLSS or TSCMAA version of anti-aliasing. But long story short, how do we activate this feature? Simply download the Nvidia app, which doesn't require you to log in anymore, then navigate to Graphics and to your Final Fantasy XIV program. In there you have to find the DLSS override model presets and super resolution options. FrameGen unfortunately is not available yet, and I guess it won't be in the near future. But the first one would be the DLSS model you can select, but like I said, this also doesn't work at the moment, but just in case it gets fixed in the future, select the model K or stick with the newest model available, as the transformer model is just AI magic, which can make games look even better than on their native resolution at times. However, the big deal here is DLSS override super resolution. There select the mode DLAA and you'll be rewarded with the best aliasing and smoothness the game can be played at. And I guess this scales positively towards lower resolutions, and if you play on 1080p or 1440p, I highly recommend using this feature if you're playing on an Nvidia GPU. I still hope for the real DLSS to work through the Nvidia app just to save on electricity, because I have tested in Expedition 33 or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the quality setting or even balance setting with the transformer model can look identical or better than native, which is amazing as the performance is much better. And the same goes for Final Fantasy XIV, but at the moment we're still stuck with the workaround, which you can find in the description. The sharp edges are gone and smoothness is at its peak, except for, the shadow flickering, which still isn't solved entirely. Okay guys, a very technical video for the keen eyes among you, but fear not, there are a couple of other videos in the pipeline on which I will talk about things in-game. So stick around for more videos coming soon, and maybe we're lucky to be gifted with some Dawntrail relic weapons on Tuesday, right? So until then, stay healthy in graphical fidelity and keep loving Final Fantasy. Oh, and definitely play Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which is hands down one of the best games I have ever played.